because he left that door open. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
It's December. It's the final live of 2025.
The final live of 2025. Why are we talking like this?
I don't know. I'm tired.
Sam. Sam's is.
How are you?
Good. Just looking forward to Christmas.
Yeah, we've just gone and spent like 50 quid on cheese.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because I asked my father what we were going to bring because he's hosting us for Christmas this year, and he's like, "Well, you could bring cheese. Don't."
Ooh, we've lost the Charles. Hello? Josie. Oh, you there? Kind of. Maybe. Bear with. See if we can get a hold of her. Her laptop has crashed. So she'll be back in 2 minutes, I think. Bear with. She'll be back. Hi, Tufty. Yeah, Chelsea's laptop has just crashed. Mid sentence. Her laptop decided that it no longer wanted to be functional. She just sent me a message. She's just trying to sort it out now. So you've got me by myself for like don't know how long. We'll just have to fingers crossed get it started as soon as possible. How are you, Tufty McTavish? Oh no. Was that while you were working? Because that was frustrating. My work laptop recently has been on the fritz and mid conversations, mostly when I do Teams calls, it'll just decide to come up with a blue screen saying, "You've encountered an error," or "Your computer has encountered an error," and it's just shut itself off. Then I have to restart it again. But IT are yet to replace my laptop, trying every other thing to try and fix it. But it's not working, so they just don't want to give me a new laptop. Not working again. Powered off. Negative on. Power button. Change to the power cord. No, oh no. Eventually got to partially start, and then it was all over. Technology is supposed to make things better, supposed to make life easier, and it really, really doesn't. So many things go wrong at work, technology-wise, which is like so much fun. Exactly what we want. Not. Oh God. Bear with us. Just have to just see how long she's gonna be. I have no patience for technology nowadays. I come to you on my telebox via Xbox. I type away on my iPad. You have no time for technology, no patience for technology, yet you've got like TV and iPad and an Xbox. 3 pieces of tech.
Honestly, I had to swap laptops.
Oh, she's back.
I'm not even trusting it. It literally just completely went black. I was like, brilliant. Thank you. Pretty sure the camera on my laptop is better than this one, but anyways, I guess. Yeah, we've just spent 50 quid on cheese.
Me and Tufty have had a nice little chat about how shit tech is.
Honestly, the thing is, right, this laptop, bless its cotton socks, is I bought this laptop that crapped out on me to go to uni with back in 2015. It's 10 years old. Now, I'm a big advocate of Apple. I think Apple lasts. Me and Jack have Apple computers, but when they die, they die.
They
There's
go
no
down
like,
in a blaze of glory.
yeah, literally, it's not like, oh, it's a little bit. No. If you're dying, you're dead. That's it. We're not doing anything else. But yeah, my camera is definitely better on my laptop, but we'll just deal with it on this one. And I just called Jack, who's gone upstairs, and I was like, you know how we keep joking about getting me a new laptop? Well,
Maybe now is the time because it just did a dead death. It
it
died a
just
death.
fully killed itself on me, which is
Oh bless.
yeah, exactly. My computer that failed was not. Yeah, the thing is though, they die. I've had PCs that like teeter on the edge of dying. They're like, oh, we
Yes.
think we might die. What was it? Apple kit with the 10. Yeah, honestly. But the thing is, as well, not being funny, 10 years is great. Like, I've got good use out of it. I
Yeah.
went through all of uni on it. I, edit content and videos and all sorts of stuff on it. It's great. But then I think Jack has also downloaded something on it for a home system, and that might have been too much. I don't know. I'll need to employ my tech team to look at it, which is Jack. Jack is my tech team. And we can go
Yeah,
from
I'd
there.
rather get a little bit of notice, like if someone started to crap out and started to be a bit dodgy, and then you
Well,
can prepare yourself, can't you?
it's been slow. So like we've been talking about it for a while, to be fair. It's always been a bit slow. Since like 8 years old. It's been a bit slow, but
10 years is good. It's a good innings for
yeah,
a
when
piece
you
of
equate like
equipment like
it's
that.
MacBooks are like what, 800 to a grand. So say
Yeah,
it's a grand, it's £100 a year, which is nothing.
yeah, yeah. And to be fair, your laptop was lasted longer than my desktop, as my desktop was about 400 in total, and it's already started to like crap out and be slow, and you can hear it like trying to think. It goes like, like
Not sure about
and
that.
it's trying. It's really trying so hard, and I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, holy shit, maybe I
Yeah.
should. So yeah, I'm saving up for a better desktop, but you can when you hear it starting to work, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's also because it drives me insane when I edit as well. So I think that it's not why I haven't uploaded anything really to my YouTube channel, but it plays a factor, and I'm like, oh, I
Yeah.
don't want to ever. Anyways, we're not here to talk about technology because I am not I am a tech-ish person. I know my tech very well. But I don't. We're not a tech channel, so we're here to talk about books. We're here to talk about Until the Last, which is the third and final book
Yeah.
in Mike Shackle's trilogy, which was great. If you watching this and you don't know us, hello, but we do spoilers. We will not talk about this in any particular format. It will not be chronological. It will jump all over the place. So you have been warned. Spoilers, chaos. Great, cool. What did you rate it?
Disclaimer. I rated this one. It was a 5 for me. I think it was it was a great ending.
Mm.
Although there was a big question mark over one particular character, which we'll get to.
Mhm.
But I just think although I know it was like, what is it, 700 pages or whatever it was.
Yeah,
didn't-
770 my copy is.
Yeah, it didn't feel like that kind of length. Do you know what I
Oh,
mean? It was
yeah.
just, I liked the build up.
Yeah, I get
I
that.
liked that once again he still has like no qualms about killing off anybody.
Yeah, the final like 100 pages, I was like, Jesus.
Oh, I was so stressed.
The thing is, right, I kind of spoiled myself. I wish I'd have listened to all of it audibly, but I didn't. I literally gave up. I stayed up last night. Jack went to bed. I was reading the last 200 pages physically. So I read like 400 pages in total of this book physically. Therefore, I have classed it as a physical read because I finished it physically. That's how I maintain things. Don't question it. It makes sense. But when I was reading it, well, the only reason I got the audio was because I was like, I'm not going to finish it in time. And then I picked up the physical last night. And when I in the audio, it literally just lists the chapters, whereas in the physical, it literally says the character names. I had flipped to the back because I always do this to see how many chapter numbers there are, and I saw one of the characters, so I was like, well, I know she makes and that was Tinstra. I was like, well, I know Tinstra makes it to the end because I've seen her name
Holy
in the 2 months
fuck.
later section.
That bugger.
Yeah.
Jesus. So what did you rate it?
4 stars.
Oh,
I did
okay.
really enjoy it. I don't know what it is. It's one of yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just becoming I've always been a harsh reviewer. I think
I was gonna say becoming. Let's
I'm
just
becoming
wipe
a
that
harsh
word out.
reviewer. I'm not. I'm really not. I would love to be able to. I don't know what it is. Like my most rated 5 star slight segue this year have all been fantasy romances, which is weird for me because before this year I didn't read them.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's because they actually make me feel something.
Yeah.
Anything. Apparently, I don't feel very much. Like when these characters were dying, I was like, "Oh, that's sad."
The thing with this is, so like, I don't know. Because of Mike's track record of like giving zero fucks about who he kills off, I didn't expect the ending to be what it was. But the whole time I was questioning who survives. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't
I didn't
I
see.
didn't want to get too attached to people. I didn't
Yeah,
want to get too attached to couplings just because until the very last page where I was just like, actually, I'm happy with these two being a thing. And I didn't want to root for people to make
yeah,
it because I know that this isn't a romance. Like in no way, shape, or form is this like
yeah,
it's a fantasy with a little bit of
yeah,
like relationships built within it, which it would depict what I believe would be like
yeah,
potentially normal things that happen, people that are drawn together
yeah,
because of war that would never normally be together. So
yeah.
it's just they're together through circumstances, but then they end up feeling things for each other. Do you know what I mean? It's not a
Mhm.
romance, but it's kind of like what I would
Yeah, it's very
potentially believe is like
realistic, I would
that's
say,
it.
in the way it's
Yeah, yeah,
written. I know it's definitely not a fantasy thing because I think I gave Empire of the Dawn 5 stars, third and final book for Jay Kristoff,
I haven't got the guts to
and I
read that
think
yet.
I think part of it for me is like you just said. I didn't get attached to too many characters because I was like, they're gonna die. Well, let's be honest, they're just gonna die. That's fine, right? Having that mindset because they are in war. Like the minute you start any of these books, it is like action packed, fighting, people are dying, blood everywhere. Like it's crazy. And I loved that about this book. I love how well written it is. I really enjoyed the way Mike writes. Like I will 100%
Yeah,
read anything he writes in the future
100%,
because I really
100%.
enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the twists and turns we got throughout this book. Um, and I wouldn't say that there were any plot points I guessed. Like, I don't think I could have guessed where the story was going to go. I figured
No,
that they would win
see, I
in
was still
some shape or
unsure.
form.
I was still very unsure about it because, like I said, because it is war, and because he made it so that nothing was convenient. Although as a person who I said I didn't get attached to people,
Mm,
the one person I did kind of get attached to was why have I forgotten it? The Queen. Why has the name just gone out of my head?
Zarik.
Zarik. She was one that I think I wanted her to get through it. Like
Mm,
I kind of, regardless of whether or not she won the war or they won the war, I wanted her to make it to the end, just because
mm,
I think lifespan wise, her and Tinster would saw the most of throughout because obviously that 15 years that they had together.
mm,
We didn't see it happening, but we know that they'd been together the longest. I never
yeah.
expected Tinstra to survive because she was one of these people that I'm just like, you were making such stupid fucking decisions, but you you understand that in those
Yeah.
circumstances, though those feel true to the character that's been created.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it
Mhm.
annoys the hell out of me. She annoyed the hell out of me. I wanted to slap her so much
Yeah,
all
a
the
lot of the choices
time.
she made throughout the book, I was just like, why are you doing that? Why are you hating on everybody else?
Yeah. I'm like, just tell
I
somebody,
will
just
say,
trust people.
yeah,
Ah,
I figured out, as you were meant to, I would have thought, when they were talking about the fourth champion, and they were like, there's the
yes.
Shulker, there's Zarik, there's Asgod. I was
Yeah.
like, it's Relassis. Of course it's
Yeah.
Relassis. Because in whatever
100%.
part of the book it was mentioned, back in 2, I think, it was like land, sea, air, another
Yeah.
one. And I was like, well, none of them like the sea apart from Relassis, so it's got to be him.
She's like, ding, 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 ding,
I
ding.
really liked, I think Ange became
Yeah.
not one of my favorite characters. I also wanted to hit her quite a lot. I found her very annoying. And I think
Yeah.
a big part of that is because of how much she mentioned how much she found Garrow annoying because, oh, Dren wouldn't have done that. Now, Dren died in the
Yeah.
last book, and we were hoping that he didn't, but he did.
Yeah.
And I did not, I just wanted to hit her when she kept going,
Yeah.
oh, Garrow's whining about this. And I was like, the kid is going through war just
Yeah.
because you
And
think
he,
you're bigger than everybody else. And I do think she kind of
yeah.
gets knocked down a little bit, especially
100%.
like towards the end of the book when there's a
Yeah.
part where they rescue the little boy Lynx, and when it comes
Oh,
over,
that little
he
kid, I was
says,
like, if you kill him off,
"Yeah,
sir, I will be messaging you with seriously strong words. And he
yeah." But
like, no, don't kill the kid off.
when it comes over and she says, "Look, get out of this. Don't fight. Take the kid somewhere safe," and Gary's like, "Okay," and Andrew's like, "Well, that's weak. That is." And I
Oh, yeah, like,
was
fuck
like,
off. I'm like, oh.
"No, no, like it's not. Like I'm sorry." And then she realizes, she goes, maybe I should have gone with bloody Garrow.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, yeah, because I do understand the thought process. You've been invaded and then you joined Dren's crew, and all he ever said was about getting the skulls and killing them
Yeah.
off. And you're like, oh, I'm going to make a difference and I'm not weak. I'm not going to back down. But I'm like, but at the same time, like, it's not being weak. And I think that's
No.
something that a lot of the characters obviously have to go through, which is annoying.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
go through this whole thought process of like Tinstra is the same. Well, I can't ask for help because that's weak. Hang on.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Ask for help because at the end of the day, you need help. You
And
can't do
it's
it
the
all.
fact that everyone we're following, for the most part, like
Mm,
the main characters, like Tinstra, um, and Ange and Garrett, well, I know Tinstra ended up being older because of the 15-year age gap, but they were
mm,
still teenagers when all this
mm.
happened. So they're learning off their behaviors. They're learning from the people around them.
Yeah.
Ange's just learn from Dren.
Mm,
And although Dren in the end was quite noble, and I say quite noble, very noble, and he sacrificed himself for other people, like
mm,
I think Mike really does a good job of like showing that there is no truly good and truly evil people. Other
Mm.
than Raku, you could kind of say he's truly evil, but like it, they're a victim of circumstances in of their surroundings.
Mm.
Like, Ange had Dren that she looked up to, and I
Mm-hmm.
think again their sort of connection was because of the circumstances they were in. Do you know what I mean? And that
Yeah.
she'd always sort of had feelings for Dren. So when Dren died, she thought that she then had to, because he died, like try to save people. She had
Yeah.
to sort of take the mantle off him and
Mm.
be him for other
Mm.
people. And
Um,
although Garrow, yeah,
wow.
it would be annoying in a situation where
Yeah.
you're trying to fight the schools and you're trying to survive, and all you've got is someone saying, "I'm scared," and questioning things. But then when you sit and think about it, you think that what he was saying in the moment, yeah, it would be pretty annoying, and you'd want to slap him, and you want to be like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, shut up." But then also you can appreciate that he was also dragged into this. He
And
is
he
still
was
also
only
a
like
teenager,
they're only like I don't even know
16,
17,
17,
17.
yeah, and he wants to live, and he's scared.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
he's relying on somebody, and he wants to just talk it through with somebody that's
Yeah.
like he's supposed to be a friend. They're not.
Yeah.
He's trying to express himself, and
Yeah.
she's very much like, I can't feel this emotion. I'm like, just listen to him for like 1 minute, and then you'll realize what he's
Yeah.
saying makes sense. Yes,
Yeah.
it
And
might be
I
annoying in the moment, but like, just I was like, stop being so mean to him, poor kid.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I 100% agree. I think this is that's not the one I wanted to click on. This one. Who was your favorite character at the beginning of the trilogy, and where did they rank on the favorite, least favorite at the very end?
Oh,
That's a very good question. I personally would say Jax was one of my favorite characters at the very start. I really like Jax.
oh God,
I liked how resilient he was. I liked how he was a
yeah.
leader, and that he's not. He's at the bottom by the end, but that's not his fault. Like, I would say Jack still highly rates for me, to be fair, because bless him, he was still trying the whole time. And
Yeah,
there's another comment as well that Tufty said about Jax with the he really messed with who I thought might survive. He wasted so many people, even though I was highly suspicious of his escape and his memories. Yeah, the minute
yeah,
he came back in book 3 with the escape, I was like, hang on a second, how the hell have we got here? This is not.
yeah.
And to begin with, I thought he was being tortured again. And it was almost like where he'd retreated to
Oh,
in his
yeah, he got
mind.
into his own mind and then he was okay. Yeah, yeah,
That's how I felt it was. But I think
yeah,
Jack's highly rated at the beginning, and then obviously he's not my. I don't know who my favorite character is at the end. If I'm honest, I will say Garrow. I think even though we don't really get a Garrow point of view, Garrow
yeah,
has got to be one of my favorite characters purely because he just sticks to his guns. He's like, do you
yeah.
know what? Yeah, I've rescued this kid. He doesn't want to fight. Realistically, I don't want to fight. But to make sure this kid is safe, we're going to go back and I'm going to protect him. And
I'd
I
probably
think
say
that's really
Relatus
admirable.
is one of my favorites
And I like
because
that.
yeah, but I think but we didn't really see him much in the beginning. I'd say Jax was again one that I didn't think would survive until the end, but the way that he didn't survive, which
Yeah,
sounds like a really
it
weird sentence.
wasn't. I couldn't have
I couldn't have even
predicted
guessed that.
how he got there,
No,
if I'm honest. And
like,
then,
but the amount of times that Paul, when you think the amount of times that he was thought to be dead,
mm,
and at the end of it, I would just be like, "Kill me, please, please, somebody, just
well, he did at
end
one
me
point,
now."
didn't he? In book 2, he
Yeah,
literally runs into a battlefield, screams and cries, and just stands there, and no one comes for him.
yeah, but it starts off like, and he's supposed to be like this fearless leader. And the thing with Jax as well, he admits that he was very arrogant in the way that he thinks and the way that he was thinking right at the very beginning. And I also like the fact that although the Shulker were there at the beginning and they're supposed to protect the people, the way that they were protecting the people, also they put themselves in a position of power where
Very
the
elitist. It was very
yeah,
much like
yeah,
you have to be
exactly.
from this family to train with us, and if you're not
Yeah.
from the family, then you have got no hope in hell.
And then you can see that like that whole system of working was
Mm,
totally obliterated by the end, and they were like, well, actually, the shock about their actual belief system and like what they stand for is
mm,
great, but the way they went about doing things was absolutely not okay, and
mm,
that they're gonna bring a new Shulker in. And I think that the thing I liked about Jax is that he very quickly realised that the way things were working, they were very arrogant in the way and that they totally fucked it up. But that poor guy had been through so much,
mm,
like watching his son die, being tortured, everyone thinking he was dead. The whole arm growing back situation in book 2, and then as soon as we saw him in book 3, and
mm.
because obviously we were saying at the beginning, obviously we thought Jax was dead at the end, and we
Yeah.
thought Dren was dead at the end. I mean, I was really hoping. Although now that I've read book 3, I'm
Mm,
kind of glad Dren didn't survive, because
yeah.
that was kind of a good way to die. Sounds like such a wrong thing to say, but
I know what you
it
mean.
was it was a good end to his story. Like he did
Mm.
die, sacrificing himself for the people, which is
The greater
what,
good.
yeah, the greater good. Um, but how was I saying? Yeah, so Jax was how was saying about Jax, but yeah,
We
it was
like him.
just I did like him, but I just yeah when he came back in book 3 and it was like a character chapter from his point of view,
Yeah.
and I was like, this seems dodgy.
Because it
Like
was. Like
and
he
then
just
it
appeared
was
back
like,
and you were like, hang on a
yeah,
second, what?
I was like, how the hell have you survived that? And then it was
He
like,
didn't.
oh, he's escaped, but he can't remember how. And I was
Mm,
like, this is not right. And the fact that he, after everything he's been through, all of a sudden the voice was no longer there. I was like, no, I don't trust this at
mm.
all. And then there was a reason why. And then
Yeah.
I was like, shit, shit. It was,
Literally shit.
yeah. And the way that he just killed people. I was just waiting for the moment for people to find out. But I am a bit sad that Hassan died because once
Yeah.
again, Yaz was someone who'd also been through shit. But her storyline was one
She
where
annoyed me
again
too.
I wanted to slap her. Wow, so many people I wanted to slap. It
Yeah,
was
I would agree with that as well. I think the problem is, right, with Yaz, and I get it to an extent, is she is thinking she is doing the best, right, for
yeah,
everybody.
yeah,
100% understand that, right? However, at the same time, when she left the Migorian, after this massive battle that happens right at the start of the book,
yeah,
and the Migorians come over to help, and the Skulls kill off a load of them. And she's like, no, I don't want them in our village. They're going to stay on the beach. And I was
mm,
like, that's already a wrong move.
yeah, yeah,
Already, that's a wrong move. I do
mm,
understand her point though. Like she had a valid point. She was like, but they might bring diseases because they're ill and
yeah,
because they're dying. We don't want
yeah,
that here. Completely understand that. However, you know, help them with running water, like help them with fresh drinking water, help them with food, help
yeah,
them in general. Like I think they would have been able to understand, like you're down here until you've been quarantined long enough, and then you can come up. That would have made
yeah.
sense. But then, and Simone, I think, was the translator for them.
Yes, yeah, I
She
liked her.
made complete valid point of
Yeah,
like, oh, so right at the end of the book, you're coming to us for help because now the weeping men have come and they want
yeah.
to take slaves and they're raping
Oh,
this stuff. Yeah, cool. No, we don't want to help you.
how about no? Fuck off.
Yeah, which made complete sense,
100%.
like.
100%.
And I was sat there going, well, if you'd have just let them join the fucking village, I
Yeah,
was reading the book.
I think with her, she was again. She's one of these people that nobody
Yeah.
wanted this war, but they were all thrust into these positions through various different ways. Sort
Mm.
of Tinsha was thrown into being a mother figure. Yaz
Yeah.
was thrown into the position of being a leader,
Mm.
and all she was doing at the heart of everything, she was trying to just for her son just not to die. Initially, her mum.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad her mum's dead because her mum was just an awful
Although I found
person.
that very odd in the sense of like her mum was quite a big character in her plot arc or her story arc. And then all of a sudden, we've lost her.
Yeah,
I was kind of waiting for her to just appear. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and just tear Yaz a new one. But the
Yeah.
thing is, I'm kind of glad that she wasn't there because I think that I don't know, she didn't want to be a mum, but in certain ways she ended up acting
Mm,
like a mum would have done. But
yeah.
again, her mum raised her, so she's gonna
Mm,
inherit some of those traits. Like, and you can't blame her for wanting to try and make a safe space for her son and a
yeah.
safe space for the people, but they survived. But n- she didn't realize that she was being racist in the way that she was doing things. She was being
Mm,
very prejudiced in the way that she was doing things. And she had blinders on in the fact that she didn't even cotton on that that's what she was doing and that's how she was acting. Because
yeah.
in her mind, it wasn't because they were Migorian that they were down there.
Mm,
It just so happens that the people that were ill and the people that were dying were Migorian. So it was kind of like she justified it by
yeah.
saying that they were diseased and they were dying. And but then when you break it down, like she was being prejudiced against them, and the
Mm,
fact that she did that. Oh, you can have something if we have any left, or you can. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah.
she'll never went to them like
For.
when yeah, when they wouldn't let them fish.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only thing that they can do that they have access to is that water. Therefore, they're going to protect the little resource that they have.
Mm,
And
yeah.
then she only went down when you will let us use like fish in your sea
Yeah.
because that's the only thing we have. You're
Mm,
not sending us fresh water. People are dying
yeah. Yeah.
because we don't have access to the fresh water. And even then, she was still very reluctant to admit that she was doing anything wrong. She's
Yeah.
walking away and she's like fucking cursing Simone. And I'm like, just think about it for a second. But again, she admits it at the end, doesn't she? She went about things the wrong way. And
Yeah.
she did sort of, once she'd reflected, she was like, she did the best that she could with the situation. And it
Mm,
was in a time of war. It's not like she could sit and plan things out with a council of people.
yeah.
She was given tiers that she didn't want, given a leadership role she didn't want,
Mm,
over people that she didn't really trust.
yeah.
And in the end, one of them, Tosspots, that as soon as she sent that Bros guy off to the Weeping Men, I was like, nah, something's going to happen. Like, that was a bad move. that was a
Yeah.
serious blunder.
100%.
But
And now she's dead.
it's the consequences of those mistakes that Mike doesn't shy away from. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Something doesn't magically happen to make everything okay. Something doesn't just coincidentally. They just don't coincidentally find running water that just saves everybody. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It it's sort of like this is war. This is wartime. These
Mm.
are people make mistakes, and it's the circumstances surrounding everyone's individual things. And I really like the fact that we've got different people's points of view as well.
I like multi point of view, although I don't know, it's one of those. I love a multi point of view, but I do feel as though sometimes when you're hearing from the characters' actual point of view for the whole time, you get more attached and therefore you feel more things.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. But yeah, Yaz is now dead. Or not dead. She's very Schrodinger's cat now. I don't really know if I enjoyed how her arc finished with
I
Rena just handing her a bowl of stew and being like, I made that special for you two. Like, one, why the hell? I really hope she hasn't fucking poisoned it. But one, why are we letting our guard down when we still know there are people out there that don't like us? If you can hear that, that's my washing machine. I'm very sorry. It's very loud. Yeah, so one, why are we doing that? Two, if Rena has decided to poison Yaz, why did she poison her kid? Because she went, I made that
no.
special for you both. The
Yeah.
kid's done nothing wrong.
No.
I know that she's upset that Yaz did kill her sister because Yaz's mum freaking told her. What a muppet, anyways. And then, but at the same time, it wasn't Yaz's fault that her grandkids got killed. Sorry, it wasn't.
No.
Like no one could foresee whatever. They were also in time of war,
Yeah.
and if they decided to wait in a building for somebody to come back for them as a whole family, bit daft. Oh, there's fire everywhere. Let's stay in a wooden building. No, no, that's silly.
Oh,
That is. And actions have consequences, therefore they died. I'm sorry, it's rough, but it's true. Like that's the
yeah.
time of war that they were in. And I'm like, I just know that it was Rena that told the Weeping Men about Yaz's kid because she just couldn't
Oh,
let it
yeah.
go. Now,
No, she didn't.
I understand. Well, I don't understand because I've never been in that position. I've not been in war. I'm very lucky in that sense. But at the same time, part of me was like, would you just get over it? Like, I understand you're upset, and then the guy that Rena kind of had a thing with ended up dead, and she blamed
Yeah.
Yaz. And I get
Yeah.
why she blamed Yaz, but Yaz didn't
But she
explicitly
she
turn
was
around to
going
the
with a
guy.
weeping man. What did she
Yeah.
expect? That's the thing with her as well. Like she was with a weeping man that by definition of what his job is, like he tattoos tears on himself and he just like they just go out and like murder and rape
Those people.
people.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know that that's not someone you know, but that still doesn't make it okay that
Mm.
you go that you get with someone that does that. But it's you still have a thing against Yaz because she did it to basically save her son. And just because I was like that the way that she acted made no sense to me because
Mm.
if I can understand her hating Yaz 100%. Because if that happened to anyone that I loved, I don't care what your reasoning is, I hate you. But then to have the total like obliviousness to get with somebody that basically does that for a living, but not only murders people, but you like went out and raped people as well. I'm just like, how can you say you hate Yaz and then
Mm.
get with someone like her? Like she could have just died for all I care. Like I don't know. It was just that
Yeah.
her being the way that she was, and
Yeah.
she was somebody that the way that she acted didn't make sense to me. But
No, mate.
again, you will get people like that who do contradict themselves and are hypocritical, and it
Yeah,
is
I
very
get that.
human nature. Not everyone's gonna have a like a moral backbone, are they? Like,
No, but yeah, didn't appreciate that. Um,
ah,
who else was there to talk about? Loads of people.
Lord, too many.
Zorik did my head in. I think everybody just did my head in a little bit, if I'm honest. Um, More so because bless her cotton socks. She had a lot on, but then a lot of the things we heard were, part of it is just because of Tinstra being annoying. She was like, Tinstra's annoyed at me. I'm like, just get over it.
You are
You're
at
queen.
war.
Get over it. And she wouldn't. She wouldn't listen to me when I said that to the book. So yeah. I don't
Uh,
know. Going back to that question from Tufty, like I genuinely do not know who is my favorite character by the end of the freaking book. I don't know if I've got one.
I'm gonna say Molasses just because the poor
He's the
love
least
struck sod.
problematic.
Yeah, he was. He was
Oh yeah,
just yeah. He was very humble, and I think despite everything, he did still sort of keep his little bit of a cheeky side, even through like the most dire situation.
yeah,
Um, and once again, he was someone I'm just like, just stop following a dude. But also, kind
yeah,
of like for the storyline, I'm glad that he did keep
yeah,
following it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But I think he was not one that I wanted to slap at all. He just
No,
made me smile whenever it like yeah, he still despite everything that went on, he still tried to be a little bit cheeky.
yeah,
So I think by the end
yeah.
of it,
That's
he was
true.
my favourite.
Hmm. Yeah, maybe
He
him then.
deserved better than Tinster, like, but You know, you can't help who you love, I suppose.
No, no. And then yeah, Jax just kills everybody off.
Oh God. Like that was a surprise. That him the way all that happened and how far he got. Like obviously when he killed the people that he escaped with, I was like, right, okay. So
Yeah,
that it makes sense that they would die because obviously, yeah. But then when he took Hassan to one side, I'm like, okay, so we know that Hassan's now not gonna live. There. But
yeah.
I thought he was gonna get found out when he took Maury away because more people were like at this point.
Mm.
I'd have assumed that people would have been more vigilant because you know,
But no one told anybody, and I understand why they didn't, because obviously they told he killed off those two people that travelled with him just for the heck of it, really, because he was actually Monsuta, who was a very messed up person,
oh, his voice.
and
Give me,
yeah, he killed off those two people, and then it was discovered, but only a handful of people knew, and they went, "Don't spread it," because obviously this all caused issues, which I
yeah,
understand. But then that then meant, like you said, people weren't more aware, and I
yeah,
think it became quite not clear, but there were points before he killed Maury where it kind of he was slipping because he was taking over more. And
yeah,
I was like, you're not noticing that something's not quite right with this guy. Like
yeah.
I think it was after he killed Maury, he made a comment about skulls.
When he called the emperor the like imperial one or whatever, and
Yeah.
they tried passing it off as a joke, but I think I would have got suspicious about him when obviously those two people were killed, and then Hassan was killed. But not only that, but he was there at the times of both of those, and his behavior was changing.
Yeah, and the
Like
same
he
as what
was,
they said about Hassan when they were like, but Hassan was just talking to you. He was like, well, we all know Shulker who have managed to, carry on because of basically adrenaline, is what he was trying to say.
yeah,
I was like, no.
yeah. That's the point that I would have been like. But again, you don't. People were dying left, right, and centre, were they, from various injuries, and they were dealing with people that you know were savage. So I can, in a way, I could kind of understand why it wasn't questioned.
Yeah.
Because we're us as readers, we we saw everything as it was happening, so
Yeah, that's true, I
it's
suppose. But
easy
at the
for us
same
to
time, like, some of these people, like Hassan, had known Jax for years.
yeah,
I was like, come on. They're like, if my Jack started acting funny,
yeah.
I'm like,
Like don't walk away with him into wherever, like, it's like a quiet area. Like why are you doing this?
yeah, let's not. And the fact that when they were talking about Maury, they were like, oh, well, they were together, so I thought they wanted to do a, proper goodbye.
Yeah.
I was like, what? In the bushes?
Well,
Jesus.
work with what you got, don't you?
It is
But
warm. It is warm.
the way that they worked it out was like everything was connected together, and they were all like, "Oh fuck, shit!" But I thought that they were gonna find out or work it out before Maury died. I didn't think that she would actually get killed off. That was
Part of
maybe
me
just
hoped
me
that she
hoping.
survived purely because then her and Tinstra could have had
Yeah, because again,
something, but
yeah,
that's not to be.
no,
Not to be.
no, because very few people that we met during this, other than some main characters, survived.
Yeah.
But again, war, and once again, until the last was used in sentences, like throughout the
And a
book.
Fool's Hope came up in this book.
Yeah, and they get mentioned in the last war, and the
Mm.
use of those.
Second,
I
our
love
whole
that.
life.
I was like, oh yes, another last.
Until the
Another.
last. We are the dead.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, I just it was. I don't know. It was I think the reason why it sort of didn't feel like a 700 odd page book is because of the multiple POVs. We didn't stay in someone's POV too long, and it felt very fast paced because they were all trying to ready themselves for the big war, weren't they? The last war.
Yeah,
It felt sort of like this
yeah,
adrenaline rush, like trying to get things ready, and then you know trying to
yeah.
hide, like they was fighting for their lives.
True. Very good question. When you rather, no. Would you rather somebody died early on or got reunited after thinking each other was lost and then get whacked? See, the thing is, right, I would prefer they just die. However, that's not a good story point. The good story point is the author reuniting people, giving you hope, and then crushing
Yeah,
it under their foot. Because
yeah.
that is how you get people crying, I think. I don't really know. I don't really cry. Anyway.
I didn't cry at this one, but I think it's because having
Mm,
learned from
I have,
reading the first two books in the trilogy, I was
yeah,
like, I'm not gonna get attached to people enough for it to make me cry.
I have a thought on this.
Yes.
My thought is I don't feel as though any death is pinpointed in the sense that when we thought Wenna died, it was Wenna went down and then we moved on. When we thought Ange was dead, Ange blew up the gate. There was a load of smoke. People noticed the smoke. We moved on. No more mention of Ange. That it's not like no. I don't feel like there was any death that was halted on. Oh, that's my dishwasher.
Being sang to. Is it still going? Oh my god.
Again, that's done. It's also because the Google goes off and says, "Oh, the washing machine is finished." I was like, "I'll mute that." But yeah, I genuinely think that's a big part of this, and maybe that is also why it wasn't a 5 for me. Not that I am a big emotional person, anyways, but I feel like if it was kind of highlighted more, it would have made me feel something down in my cold heart,
Cold black heart.
cold black heart. But I genuinely think at the big point of that, and I also kind of I kind of liked why nothing was ever like stopped on and almost like looked at behind a magnifying glass because it was war. There was no way they could have. You just kind of had. It's the same. Yeah, Yaz's mum was kind of dead. And we don't really mention it. Move on. You know, like the only thing that is kind of brought up again and again and again is Rena losing her family.
Yeah.
And I think the reason for that is very clear. It's to show that she is obviously very bitter about it, which anybody would be. I'm not saying she shouldn't be, but because that is such a key part in her character is the fact that she is now against Yaz and everything Yaz does because of her killing her sister.
Yeah.
She couldn't just move on, whereas like everyone else has lost somebody and they move on. And I think the other one that we dwell on quite a lot is Dren with Ange, because Ange is constantly comparing Garrow to Dren, and I think a large part of that as well would be the psychological version of her, in the sense of like she can tell that she's starting to develop feelings for him, and then it's like, oh, but Dren, like I can't, because it's almost like she's moving on too quickly, and it's like, girl, you had some kisses with this kid, like you weren't married.
And also, she'll feel some kind of loyalty to Dren because it's easy to forget that even before the war, like they were a group of they were misfits, and they sort of like they were all against the Shulker, but they had some kind of relationship, whatever that looked like, prior to the war, so that she still would have still looked up to him, and like I said, she had feelings for him in some way, shape, or form, whether that was a crush or whatever,
Yeah.
like for years. So it, I think, and again, it's very easy to forget in these books that she's still a teenager, so she's gonna have the whole teenage hormones things as well
Oh,
going on, isn't she?
bloody
So
hormones.
hormones. So for her, um, it'll be the whole what if, and I can understand why she sort of kept thinking about him in that way, but
Yeah.
also I just yeah, I liked her as a character, but again, some of the decisions that she made,
Mm.
um, are very true
Yeah.
to her as a character. But I was just like, oh, please, just sit and think about things for like 1 second. You
Yeah.
didn't want to be in this war. You didn't sign up to this war as a soldier.
Yeah.
You were dragged into it like a lot of these poor people were.
Mm.
You're not gonna be weak if you left and try to save yourself.
Yeah. I think what one thing that I always forget as well is obviously how old all these characters are in the grand scheme of things, because Zorika's only like 18, 19,
Yeah,
and she's being told she's the queen. Tinstra, although she has aged 15 years and she's in her 30s, I think
yeah,
now,
yeah,
it's like she says to her mother, like, you've been fighting the Eagles. This has been a couple of years in your life. It's been my entire life
yeah,
fighting these things because I've gone away and been training with Zarik for 15 plus years.
yeah,
And that was all while in the back of my head, like we're talking about the skulls. The skulls have been a thing for me for over, like, pretty much over half of her life, almost all of her life.
yeah,
And it's just like, wow, that's something that you didn't really realize necessarily because no one else is going through that. Like, yeah, everyone in the series has lost somebody. Everybody has
yeah,
felt the effects of the war. But if you look at how much they have given, and I think that kind of also plays into why Tinstra is so angry all the time, not only because of the Shikara water and like what that's doing to her, but
yeah,
you think that for 15 years, all she's been, well, even longer than that, like she got dragged into the war as everybody else did, but she got landed with this 4-year-old who was meant to lead the country, and she has to get her to safety, and she does get her to safety, and then the minute she gets her to safety, or so-called safety, she gets taken to a refugee camp where she's locked up away from this 4-year-old, and then they have to break out and rescue her because someone is sent to kill both of them. So she has to go and rescue this kid
yeah,
again, sneak her out of this refugee camp, and then go to 1,000 years in the past with these two women that she does not get on with to raise said girl to come back and conquer the Eagle. And then again, we go through this whole process with Zarika as she grows up of, well, I don't want to do that. Like, I was 4 when I left, and now I'm 19. I've
yeah,
got loyalty to that country. Why would I go back and fight that? Why would I go back and risk my life? She still does in the end, but there's like all these things that Tinstra has to support this kid through. It was not even her own kid or family. And then everyone gets mad. I don't really understand why she started drinking the water. I think that's a bit bonkers, to be honest. But at the same
I think
time,
again, it's easy to think of like in her mind, she's 19. She even though she realizes quite early on that
hmm,
she is no longer a coward, that she is, she does have her own strength and stuff.
yeah.
Um, she is still again a 19-year-old girl that's been put in, a child of 4 years old has been put into her care. She
Hmm,
has no magical ability, and in her mind, she's like, I have no magical ability, but I'm and no real combat skills per se because she hasn't really she still doesn't feel like she's worthy enough to sort of raise
yeah,
someone in that way. So in her mind she'll be like, right, okay, so this is gonna make me stronger so that I can
hmm,
get the reach to where she needs to go. Um but then obviously
yeah,
that's a very she just becomes addicted to it, doesn't she, basically? She becomes an addict and
hmm,
her behaviours again, it's although she is very rash, she makes some stupid decisions. It is because she is addicted to the water. The whole
Yeah.
sneaking to get doses of it, the withdrawals that she gets, like it doesn't shy away from that side of things either. Like it is very
Mhm.
hard to read,
Yeah.
and even though she goes through pain either way, doesn't she? When she
Yeah.
goes through withdrawals and she doesn't drink it, she gets ill. But then when she does drink it, she gets searing headaches and she can detect magic, which is yay. But the whole detection of magic gives her so much pain. Um,
Yeah. I
it's
don't
like a
know. I
double-edged
just.
sword. It's once she's started drinking it, she's then addicted to it, and she
Yeah.
can't stop.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. It's just one of them, isn't it? Like personally, when I was just reading it, I was like, "This is a stupid decision," and you know it's a stupid decision. So why are you doing it? And I think it's just because it's one thing after another with them all of like stupid decisions, and you're
Yeah.
just like, "Fuck's sake, just stop." You know, like fair play, the water did make her stronger, and she was faster, and she could do all these things. But at the same time, and obviously that was a benefit in war and fighting. But at the same time, like if you'd have just not, you might still have been all right. Well, actually, she probably would have died. To be fair,
She probably would have died
yeah, just
because one of the things I do like is that it, although it brings her so much pain, and she's put herself through so much.
mm,
The detection of the magic that she has, that skill,
yeah,
does still come into use in the war at some stages. So it's not
yeah,
it when you think about it, like some of the things that happen, wouldn't they might not have won the way that they did had it not been for her being able to detect
yeah,
the magic in that way. So it's like, well, yes, it was stupid, but also would they have won the war if she didn't
yeah,
have would that many people have survived if that had happened that hadn't happened?
yeah,
Um, I do like in the end how when she was healed, that craving for the Jakara water was healed as well.
yeah. I
'Cause
think
to
that
be
was
fair,
quite a nice
she
touch.
did deserve it. She did
Yeah,
deserve a little bit of a break after all of that shit. Because she not only went through things mentally,
mm.
physically, she was literally put through the ringer, wasn't she? Like
Yeah. I think they all were. To be fair,
like
I think
losing an
Mike.
eye,
Oh well, yeah. I think Mike did a
almost
really good job
dying.
of just, I don't know, portraying. Not that I've got any first-hand experience, but portraying that kind of being constantly on the go in a war scenario. Like there is
Yeah.
never any let up in these books, which is
No.
exactly how I would imagine it would be, anyways, if you were in an active zone. Um, and he doesn't shy away from people making the mistakes either. Like no one is an actual perfect commander, which is quite nice as well.
Yeah, yeah. There is no cookie cutter perfect sort of leader,
Yeah,
and it shows like the human flaws of people. Like
yeah,
just because you're put in a leadership position, or
yeah.
just because you have magic, like doesn't mean that you automatically make all the best decisions.
This is
Doesn't
yeah,
mean that you are a flawless person just
yeah,
because you have an upper hand in one way or the other. So I like that side of it, which also makes it a very grim story to read at times because just like, and it makes it frustrate in a good way. I didn't think I'd ever say I'd be frustrated in a good way, but it
mm,
makes it frustrating in a good way because, like I said before, like nothing coincidentally turns out okay. They
yeah,
have to fight for every bit of good that happens. It's through like them fighting for it. It
yeah,
doesn't just magically happen. The solution doesn't just you know
yeah,
come out of nowhere. Like it is like plans fail, and
yeah,
through those failed plans, other plans emerge and things happen, and it just it makes it feel very realistic. Although,
mm,
like I said, I've never been in a war situation, but touch wood. But it just feels
mm,
like I think it's grim because of the aspect of it. Is very, it's a very difficult read.
Yeah.
You can't say that. Oh my god, I'm enjoying all these people being stabbed through and ripped to pieces, and
Yeah.
but you're like,
Mm.
it's such a compelling story.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's 5 stars for me, because at no point was I sat here thinking, "Oh my god, I hate being in this POV. Like I'm so bored. Like just move on." And if you sat and picked it, you could probably, pick out some nitpicky
Mm.
bits that you could have been done better. Like, did I like how Yaz's story ended? No, but also I'd like to think that Rena, despite what she'd been through,
Mm.
would not just kill a child. So in my idealistic mind, she'd said that I made this especially for you two as an apology for almost getting the whole of everybody killed
Yeah.
by an apology for getting half of the village raped and pillaged
Yeah.
by Reaper men. Like I like to think that she said, I made that especially for you two as an apology because I realised that it is my fault that so many women in our village, in our town, got
Yeah.
raped. Like that's what I choose to think. Not
Yeah.
that I made this especially for you two,
Mm.
because you reap what you sow, you poison my sister, I'ma kill you and your son.
Yeah.
That's how I'm choosing to think about it.
I don't know. I just think it's like bearing in I think the reason I find it frustrating is because obviously it's right at the end, everyone's settled. Yaz has given up her place in like democracy, and she's like, "You guys figure it out for yourselves."
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I'm like, "Wow, if you have gone and actually poisoned food after everything that's happened, and you're now in peace, that's pathetic as hell." And
Yeah.
like again, I don't know. I've not been in that situation. Like I would fight for my family. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I'm like, I would like to think if I'd gone through a war for over however it's like a year essentially, isn't it? A year or 2 years that this book actually takes place over, despite Zurich and Tinstra's little excursion. That you kind of come to a point where you're like, you know what, that really sucks that happened to me, and I will not forgive you for that. However, I'm going to move on because otherwise, I'm just going to drag myself down. Because by me hurting you, that's not going to actually. Maybe that's just. Maybe I'm just so much of a bigger person. Like by me hurting that person, what's it going to do? It's not going to make me
Yeah.
feel any better.
My
My
sister's
family's
not
still
gonna come
gone.
back.
Yeah, but again, I'm not
Yeah.
in that
It's like
situation.
Tufty was saying though, there was a hell of a body count in this trilogy.
There was, yeah, and
Like a hell
it's
of a body count.
yeah.
Like,
Revenge was exacted. I'm clearly not that big a person. I don't think it's being a bigger person. I think if it's just like being in that situation, I would like to think that
yeah.
there's been enough of everything. Also, the thing I can't get over is killing a kid. Like, I think that is the thing that sticks for me personally, is that thought of like, oh well, and it's neither confirmed nor denied that that this is what Rena has done. She might have been nice and just made them a bowl of food. Who knows? But if what Mike has intended, and I think Mike wrote this purely to infuriate people because he's infuriated me, because I'm like, do you know what? If you feel like you've got that big a problem and you're gonna off Yaz, I kind of get it. I think you've all been through enough, but whatever. But to kill a kid, there's a line,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. But at the same time, not being funny, if you kill Yaz, there is no one there for that kid. Who's going to look after that kid?
Yeah. So there's so many questions. I think he's done a good, as
I
much as
hope
I'm
not.
like,
It's
no, as much
basically
as I'm
hoping.
like, he's left that bit open.
Mm.
I think cheekily he's done that to make people think at the end. Like
Mad.
just you were saying, having that dark thing over Jan, like it's not really a happily ever after. Like, do we know? Like, do we know what
Maybe
happened?
that's why this book got 4 stars from me, because I was like, nope. Nope. Not Little Row. Nope. Nope.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I'm choosing to think of it as I've made it especially for you two as an apology for my part in getting everybody getting
Yeah.
the town pillaged and people raped and killed by the weeping men because of my petty grievance against not petty, my grievance against you. Like other people suffered as a result of me because I feel like yes, things happened to Rena, but when she took things out on Yaz, it wasn't just Yaz that was affected by Rena's actions.
Yeah.
It was everybody who was also innocent, as well
Mm.
as Rena, who was innocent before all this happened to her. Other people in their little town that they were trying to create was also innocent. She had
Mm.
an issue with Yaz, but what she's done affected so many,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
awful.
I don't like that we're comparing Dren to this because Dren died. There was a bit of us that was hopeful for Dren in the end of book 2 because it wasn't explicit. Here we get an open element for book 3. Yeah, I know. And
Yeah.
Rena can go jump off a cliff.
Yeah, I don't like Rena. No,
Children are not. No.
no,
No.
children off limits.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do like
Unless we all stoop to the weeping men, which I don't want to. Thank you.
no, I do like that there were two weeping men that realised the error of their
Soren
ways.
and the other one.
Dean,
Dean, that was it.
yeah, um, and again, it's because we only see the nice Dean and the nice Soren. It's very easy to think, oh my god, yeah, they're good people, but no, 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 like they didn't take part in the raping and killing of the current
Mm.
um thing that went. But when they turned into weeping, and as he explained to her, he told her a story
Mm.
of he killed someone that he basically looked
He
up
knew.
to, and he knew. So he has done those things in the past when they
Mm.
weren't in a time of war. So he's he's not
They're not good people.
he's not a good person. He doesn't say whether he actually did anything like
Mm.
the raping of women, but he has killed people, and he's a weeping man for a reason.
Yep.
So it's again because we only see the perspective of him and him doing good things.
Yeah.
It's easy to forget because we didn't see what he did before.
Yeah.
But when you sit there, it's like, yeah, he is a weeping man for a reason. He's murdered people without prejudice, like not giving a shit about what's happened in their lives. He's killed innocent people. So, like, should we like him? Probably not, no. But because we see the good things that he does and how he
Mm.
helped Jazz and the way him and Dean were trying to help Jazz and help the people, you're like, oh yeah, I don't want this person to die. But
Yep.
that sort of it really pulls at your moral compass, doesn't it? Though
Yeah.
when you think
That's the
about
point.
it, like
And that's what I have enjoyed about this book from
you're
what I've
like,
read.
I don't want to like these people. Like the weep. I don't know. Yaz becomes a weeping man because of circumstance, but she became a weeping man by killing weeping men.
Yeah.
So and what she killed innocent people like
Yeah.
like she murdered hundreds of innocent people to
Yeah.
save the life of her son.
Yeah.
Was that okay? No. Would I have done the same? I don't know. But again, it's that
Probably.
thing like it's like it really you don't want to like someone for that because that is a horrible thing to do. But also, and it's not justified in any way, shape, or form. That is not okay. But also, she had no choice really. She was put in a difficult situation,
Yeah, it
and
was
it
like
was
your
like,
kid or all these people that you kind of
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Mm.
these people you just met,
Mm.
or we kill your son and your mum.
Yeah.
And despite her mum being an absolute bitch, it's not like she wanted her
It's
to
still your
die. Do you
mum.
know what I mean? It's still your mum. So you kind of think, ugh, but it's just everything. Nobody is purely good, and there are some purely evil people,
Mm-hmm.
like Raku, purely evil. Um, but the people that we meet along the way,
Mm.
you do kind of think, oh God, like some of these are like a victim of circumstance, aren't they?
Yeah.
And
100%.
upbringing, and it's like it's hard. but I did really like Molasses, and he was very much sort of following.
He's very
Because
much
I liked the fact that
him.
he did see through all the shit that she was trying to do though, and
Yeah,
he did push her in a way that was obviously annoying to her,
yeah,
but he sort of made her think about her actions,
yeah,
and he pushed her in the right way,
yeah,
and he was basically the one that made her realize that she doesn't need to be doing it all by herself. She can rely on people.
yeah.
That and even um the mage
As
name
God.
Asgard. She did have a little. She was mad at the old Asgard, like the older Asgard, who had gone through and betrayed them, not betrayed them, like tricked them, and or not been
Yeah,
completely honest about everything. But she sort of transferred that onto younger Asgard, and
yeah,
you see, it was very easy. She completely forgot. She pulled him away from his life. She pulled him like out of into that situation. So the
mm,
fact that he was still so calm, the fact that he still was just like, I've been put in this situation, and I'm just gonna protect the queen
I go with
regardless, and I'm gonna try my best for
yeah,
her. Just because he didn't agree with everything that she was doing, she was
mm,
fucking horrible to him, and I that annoyed me
yeah.
because
But I really
he was
appreciated like how it finished in the end with him because it was
yeah
like, oh, because I was like, well, if he dies, and that's I kind of thought like he's not going to die because that's going to be way too much to kind of figure out how
oh
that
timey
could
wimey shit yeah
after. So I was
yeah
like, I assume that he's going to make it, and he does. And then Zorik takes him back to his time, and I was like, right, okay. And then she wipes his memory, and I was like, that makes so much sense because then he's going to go back and live his life and not do anything differently to get to that point to then get pulled back in, like, so the timeline keeps going. So like he never realizes that he's actually met Zorik before and he's fought with her before because he's forgotten it all, which I
yeah
thought was very clever. And it's
yeah
the same with his brother Lafayette, or however you say his name. I was
yeah
sad that I was kind of hoping that he would get out and then him and
yeah
Asgard kind of like reconnect, but at
yeah
the same time when you're in Raku's head, he's constantly like, "Oh, this guy never saw me coming, despite seeing the future." And I was like, "Are you really that dim?" And when we go into Lafian's head, and he's like, "Oh yeah, like I saw the skulls marching on our country, and I was
yeah
playing through so many different ways, and it all ended badly. And then I found the boy that was gonna turn into the man who was gonna lead this."
yeah
And when he goes through and talks about it and was like, "Oh well, the night before I knew I was going to meet this boy, I cried because I knew this was the last time or like the night before I took him to find the Shakira water. That's not
La, 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 la.
right. The
That's the Shakira water. I'm gonna call it the Shakira water now, not Shakira.
Shakira water. That's it. That's the badger. When he goes to find that the night before they go and find the pool, he was like, "I cried."
Yeah,
Because I knew that was the last time I would ever, be outside and see the clouds and feel the wind
yeah,
and I know I'm going to die under that mountain. And I was like, Jesus Christ, man, like fair play.
yeah.
Because
That is
Reku's
awful.
there going, la di da, you've told me everything. And even like part of me in book two, when we were seeing their interactions, I was like, if you know this guy can see the future, why is there not? And I suppose it's just that being so arrogant
Yeah,
of, did you not stop and think that maybe he's foreseen you too and this
yeah,
whole thing, and that you're going, oh well, when you drink the water you can't lie. Well, do you not think that, yeah, that's true, but he doesn't always need the water to do what he does?
yeah.
Like,
Again, it's very arrogant because he's like, my power comes from Cage. Cage is all powerful. So in his mind, like
mhm,
he's gonna be in his very arrogant mind. He's like, well, you're all that water was doing was giving him stronger visions of the future.
Yeah, yeah. Just
So,
it
and
makes it clearer.
he didn't, yeah, he didn't sit and think because of his
Mm,
arrogance that he can't outright lie to him. But he might not be telling him everything.
mm,
Like, he doesn't know what this guy sees, what
yeah.
Lafayette was seeing, or what Lafayette was telling him. And
Mm,
he was like, no, you can't lie to him, but doesn't mean you have to give him the full picture of what was
yeah,
going to happen. You
yeah,
can still tell him the truth to a certain extent. Will
mm,
he invade? Yeah. Will he start winning the fight? Yeah. Doesn't need to tell him how. And do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think that Raku's downfall was his arrogance.
yeah.
Um, but also the fact that like Lafayette, we don't see much of him, but when you realise that, bless him, when he was saying about how he knew his dad was going to die of cancer,
Mm,
and he tried to get like so many different ways of
mm,
it turning out differently, when he realised he could affect change, that was also very much like a butterfly effect situation, isn't it?
mm,
Like, there's certain things that you can change, that has a ripple effect. And if it's like when someone's marked for death,
yeah,
it was just his time to die, unfortunately.
yeah,
Like, it was just his fate for
yeah,
that to happen. And the realization again that magic, or having the ability to, like that, it doesn't mean that everything is fixed. It doesn't mean his dad conveniently, like, he avoided his dad getting cancer and dying like that. Just because he had that ability doesn't mean that bad things didn't happen. And again,
yeah,
like, even back then, it was showing that, you know, just because you have a gift of some kind,
yeah,
doesn't mean you are all powerful.
yeah,
Like, Zarik has, like, the runes affects Zarik's connection to her magic.
yeah,
So she has, like, an Achilles heel. She has, like, a kryptonite situation where she can't use her magic because she's in the, you know, and
yeah.
when I want to call her Vera, and her name's not Vera. She was warded against.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Valia?
Valia, that's it. I'm shit with names. She was
Me
warded
too.
against magic.
Mm,
So again, there were even up until the end, there were constant obstacles they had to get
yeah,
over. And magic and doesn't solve everything. And the fact that they had to, like, pivot their plans
yeah,
in the middle of a war was just. And I think that the best thing for me out of all of this, and the prophecy that Zarit was gonna be the one that would save everyone, in the
yeah,
end it was Molasses
yeah, yeah.
that actually
I
killed
agree.
him. I loved that.
Mm,
That, in, like, the four against the one,
yeah,
and it was like, right, okay, so Molasses is part of this, and he was still very much like, all these people, Asgard has magic, Zarig has magic.
yeah.
In a
Tis
way,
massive.
yeah, Tinstra's just slightly magic, but also just strong as fuck. What do I bring to the table?
Yeah,
Um, Yourself, sir. Just bring it. Just
yeah, yeah,
bring.
yeah.
You are clearly
Enough.
well. Yeah, you are enough.
You
And
are enough.
the fact that he was the one that dealt the killing blow
Mm,
was just peak for me.
yeah,
That was just like, now do you realize why you're part of the four? Like,
yeah,
do you accept that you are worthy now?
yeah, yeah.
Um, because he was very
100%.
much like although he was trying his best to do things, he was very much like, well, I'm a man of the sea, so
Yeah,
what can I bring to this thing? Like, I've been put. He again was thrust into a position of command, and do you know what I mean? Like, he was.
yeah.
So I think there's many reasons why I like Molasses, but I think
He's
the
good.
fact that he was still very humble and cheeky, and he never gave up. He was just, yeah. He even when he thought he was way over his head with everything, he's like, do
Yeah,
you know what? I may die, but fuck it, I'm gonna give
yeah,
it my all.
yeah.
And yeah, when he was like, well, he might have all this magic, but he's just a man, and I killed him. I was like, go.
Yeah, to be fair.
Oh,
Overall, it was a really good series. I did really enjoy it. I thought it was good.
it was so good.
I'm glad I finally read it now. It's been on my list to read for freaking ages.
So long. It's been on my list for so long. Since way back when the Broken Binding editions were available. I was like, oh, that looks cool. I want to read that. And then just, like everything else in life, just went on the back of my TBR.
Yeah, it's one of them. I kind of wish now that I had the special editions, but at the same time, I am trying to reduce the amount of special edition-y things that I'm buying.
Yeah.
Trying being the operative word. I think I'm doing well, to be fair.
I like to
But
just comment, no tears were shed. That's a ranking criteria right there. It is for me.
it is, yeah, it is for you, 1,000%. I think more just like if I feel something, then I'm like, oh, that's odd.
Yeah. I would have been upset if Lovelassus died. I kind of. I wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been a surprise if he did, but I was hoping that he wouldn't, because
Yeah.
if he was like the 4 against the 1, if he really was one of the 4, then he really should survive. But the fact that nobody came out of this without some kind of scar, without some kind of trauma, was kind of what you expected of a war.
Yeah, it's very
And I think that the way that it was done, the whole battle thing, like we talked about like characters, but the way that Mike writes, you could for me as a reader, there
yeah.
is a good way to do a battle scene and one that's like just really boring and it's like, oh my god, a battle, wow. But the fact that the fact that he did the battle from everyone, like so many people's points of view, when you were reading it, it was sort of like you got a bit of Tinch's point of view, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, like at this time, also over here, when you think about it, it's kind of like a role playing game. Not, I don't know if you. It's like when I watch Dungeons and Dragons, for instance. It sounds like I'm going off topic, but it'll make sense. So when I'm watching like Critical Role, when they're doing these battle scenes, it can take sort of like 3 to 4 hours sometimes to go through a full battle scene because you're going through each individual character's actions. But in
I
the grand
roll
scheme
a
of
5.
things,
Oh, that's not good.
yeah,
I roll a 20. Everyone's
yeah.
dead.
So when you're reading it like that, like, to me it's playing out like they're playing a D&D game. But then when you think of it,
Yeah.
all these things would have happened in a matter of seconds.
Yeah,
In
I think
real
that's
life,
my
it would have
problem.
happened in a matter of seconds. But
Yeah,
it does.
this is my problem with Critical Role. Like, I like it. We're currently, as we're talking about it, me and Jack, I've got the Mighty Nine queued up on telly, ready for
Oh my god!
because Jack wants me to watch it, and it is pretty good. To be fair, I'm enjoying it,
Fucking
but
amazing.
I struggle to watch Critical Role itself because it's like, oh well, I think I want to do this. Okay, roll. Okay, this number that hits, but it misses. Whereas I find that the way Mike writes battle scenes is very much how it would be. Like, it's the thing that I find really good about the way Mike writes battle scenes is, although they are battle scenes and everything is happening in the grand scheme of things within seconds, I don't feel like I missed anything. Like, it
No.
was very much like, oh, well, Tinstra's doing this, and she cuts through a whole section of skulls, which then means that the plot progresses, and then we go back to another character, or whoever's character point of view we're in, and we see them struggling with fighting. And then they look over and they go, oh, but my morale is boosted because such and such has killed this many people.
Yeah.
Whereas if that was like a D&D thing, it would be like, oh, Tinstra, you want to kill 15 people. Roll 17 or higher. Okay, I'm going to roll my dice now. There's nothing, that's not against Critical Role. I just can't. I much prefer watching the animated series because it's already been worked out.
For me, though, for like the way that works is that it doesn't feel like some people can draw out battle scenes and it can feel
Yeah.
sort of like 3 or 4 hours long, essentially. But I
Mm.
think that he doesn't go too fast. And I like the fact that it shows different people's point of views, because
Mm.
the battle scenes I don't really like is when you are like the person looking at everyone from above. Do you know what I mean? When it's
Yeah,
like, but we can actually feel what they're feeling. They're
yeah,
stood in front of a school and like, they almost get hit, and then it feels like a proper battle in your head, because I'm
yeah,
the kind of person who envisions things in my brain. I can see that, I can see it playing out in my head like a game, like a battle
yeah.
scene in
Whereas
a
I
game.
lose interest very quickly.
Well, no, see, yeah,
If I'm not
yeah,
engaged, I'm losing interest. I don't. It doesn't matter how pretty it looks or sounds or whatever. No, I'm out.
yeah.
Next.
In my head, when they make a hit, I'm like, that was a nat 20. Just
Yeah,
in
but
my head,
that's
like,
yeah, like that makes sense, you know. But like, yeah, that's why I can't really do the critical. I some of the stuff like I've watched some of the live action Critical Role stuff with Jack, and yeah, it's funny, and I do enjoy it.
I love it.
But I can't just sit there and watch it. No, I would much prefer they do the D&D game, plan it all out, and then just
So
stick it on.
you wanted the animated scene, but see, I like the fact that maybe it's wrong for me to think of it as a D&D battle, but it's kind of like, that when someone tries to hit something and they miss,
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, you fluffed that roll. Their AC was
You
17 and
fluffed that.
you probably rolled a 16. Do you know what I mean? Like in my
Yeah,
head, but it. I don't know.
I get what you mean. I
It
fully
can
understand what
easily
you mean.
drag it out,
Yeah,
but it is all this is happening in a matter of seconds,
yeah,
and it feels very like high intensity.
yeah.
Also, I do listen to it at speed, so for me, it is also very quick. But it,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
It
you
would
just
be if you listen at your speed.
I don't listen to it on 2.2, but
That's all right then.
yeah.
Jack, yeah, I listen to stuff on 2 times speed, and Jack's like, "How can you listen to that?"
But
Like,
honestly,
so
I
1 point
would.
speed, they sound like they're talking like this, and I can't cope.
I'm going to Critical Role live show next year, and because I've listened to all of their campaign in 2 speed, it's going to be so strange
Oh,
being
it's
there
gonna be so
live
slow for you.
and not being able to like speed back.
Fast forward,
That was
speed up.
Becca said the same thing when she went to Critical Role live last year. She was
Mm.
like, it was so weird seeing it in like normal speed. But so like the reason I've got through so much Critical Role is
Mm.
because I've listened to all of it on 2 speed. But for me, like the whole battle scene played out in my mind like a D&D game, but like a really, really intense battle, and it was great.
Yeah,
And that's just how I envisioned it. But it was just, I think, the talent that Mike has of writing those battle scenes,
yeah, really
and
good.
not making them boring is
Yeah,
just because I could appreciate that, and to not make them overwhelming either.
yeah,
Is there is a fine line between making a battle scene just a boring same old, like
yeah,
he cut him with a knife and you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so he treads that line really well. He's got a great mix of characters,
Mhm.
and some you kind of like Hassan I really liked, but yeah, he died. Mori I really liked and she
Yeah,
died.
she died.
But he does a great he's great at, like, giving you characters that you like, but giving you
Yeah.
very realistic characters that piss you off, but you still really
Oh
like.
god, yeah.
So I think that's a talent in itself to get a character that frustrates me and I want to slap. Like the slapometer is
Yeah,
like just at a 10, molasses is at a 1, and you've got people that are up the ladder between 1 and 10. Um,
yeah,
but the whole culmination at the end, I am really glad that Tinstra got what, like, her happy ever after sort of thing. Like, her and Molasses are gonna go out and sail the seas together, even if it's just for a
yeah.
little
Very
bit. They're gonna,
sweet, very sweet.
yeah, that was sweet, and that you know, even
Yeah,
though we know there's gonna be a council being built, whether Yaz is gonna be a part of that, we don't know. I'm gonna choose to think that Rena didn't kill her off, and that she's gonna go and be part of the council instead, and her and Ro are gonna live happily ever after. That is my thoughts and feelings, and yeah, I hope that that's the case. But I'm glad that it ended the way that it did, and I'm really really glad that Ange and Garrow got their whole little reunion as well,
Yeah.
because
And Link's
bless
alive.
them. Yeah, and obviously Little Link. I can imagine them being their own, not a family unit, because Garrow and are still too young to be parents, but you know what I mean, like siblings. Like they'll be like their not siblings. They'll be sort of like what I don't know.
Yeah.
Help bring Links up, and you know
Yeah.
give him a better life than what he's had to endure
Yeah,
thus
that's
far.
true. Yeah.
But yeah,
100%.
I like that they all got the again. I'm choosing to say that Yaz got a happy ending. I'm glad that they all got the happy ending in the end.
Mm.
Um, but it is still bittersweet. There are so many people that we
I
lost along the
died.
way. It wasn't a true happy ending, but it was one of those J. Christoph bittersweet moments.
It's
Like people,
realistic.
yeah, exactly. It's realistic, and that's the kind of happy ending that I think I prefer.
Mm.
That's some people they've found a way of living after trauma.
Yeah, that's true.
So
And that's
uh,
it now for 2025.
yeah, I still need to get the list of things together for next year. But as soon as we have the graphics sorted, we will post next year. But we are taking Janvier off, well December off. And we'll be reading in January for February.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I will get the graphics sorted for the next series. I'm so excited for next year's books. Once
I
again,
am.
we're
I'm
gonna have
a,
Rob J. Hayes.
I'm a little bit apprehensive about when I'm gonna read them because it's very busy for me at work. I
We
come
will
home
get.
at one point there. I literally have like potentially. It hasn't been fully confirmed yet, but I either have 3 days after a show, and then before I come back on the Sunday, go back out on the Wednesday, or I have one day. Don't know yet.
Oh, let's hope that it's the 3 rather than the 1.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. Did we? We did live shows for everything, didn't we? I read all of them. We both completed Islington's Lycanius trilogy.
Yes,
We did lives, didn't we?
yes, we did.
So yeah, we did.
And unfortunately,
We.
it wasn't a great.
I do. I'm reading Will of the Many as we speak.
Actually, did yeah, we did finish it,
We
but
did. I definitely read all of them.
I just didn't particularly enjoy the series, unfortunately.
No, and
Ended
yeah,
up being
I'm
like a
trying to read Will of the
3-star.
Many, and I think I'm having the same thing. Not that I don't enjoy it; I'm actually quite enjoying Will of the Many, but it's a lot, and I'm realizing that if I listen to Will of the Many, nothing would go in. So I'm glad I'm reading Will of the Many physically, but I think that's the problem that I had with the Lycanius trilogy is that I really needed to read it physically or
Yeah,
immersively, which I don't do. I probably should.
but next year we do have a couple of. We'll try to work it. Um,
We
so
got
that
some chunky series coming up
we have got some
next.
duology coming up. We've also got a bit of a longer series, like 4 books.
Yeah.
So we've got a mix next year. And
Mm.
once again, do we
Mix.
have Indie and Trad? Do we have a Trad one for next year?
Yeah, the one in January to March is trad.
Oh yeah. We've got a mix of Trad and Indie again.
Always have
So
a mix.
I
Yeah,
think by the
because
end
I
of next
find
year,
that
unless we get some more finished series, we're gonna struggle for finished series because we have
th-
got through a hell of a lot in this last
this is
3
the
years.
problem, and we've DNF'd quite a few as well. I'm
We
not gonna
have,
lie.
thankfully.
I mean you, have DNF'd quite a
Yeah.
few. That's fine. But at the same time, like I think that's the hardest thing with the indie series at the moment is the ones that are on our radar aren't actually finished yet.
Yeah.
So if anyone's got any recommendations of actual finished series, that would be great.
Yeah, I would love to do like a full Michael Amiller. But he is only just released Reckoning, and he's got one more to release out of that series. And I
Yeah.
don't think if I don't know if he will be able to do this because he does do chunky books. But if he has released book 5, or will be releasing book 5 in like 2027, early 27, then maybe we could do Michael Miller in 2027.
Yeah.
But it depends on when he can get book 5 out.
Yeah.
He's
I
only
think that's
just got book
the
4 out, but
And a lot of people are obviously writing trilogies, but I feel like in the indie space, people aren't doing trilogies.
yeah. And we saying that, I was like, oh yeah, maybe we could do R.R. Verde. It's still only on book 2 of what 9, so
Yeah.
that's not gonna be anything either. So if anybody has any complete, it could be trad or indie fantasy, either
Mm.
way, completed series,
Mm.
then it'd be very much appreciated if you could put some recommendations in the comments because we
Yeah.
will have caught up on completed Rob J. Hayes by next year, which sounds so sad, but also so good that we've done that over the last 3 years.
Yeah. True.
And we've
Yeah,
like
he's
known
not
each other
he's
for over
not
3
gonna
years
be
now and never met in person
he's
yet.
not gonna finish anything coming up, is he?
No, he's only just on the second set of like trilogy books, isn't he? So,
Mm. Yes, he
so
is.
but
Yeah, there you go. 2025 is complete, mate.
yeah. Oh yeah, the DNFing was what I was thinking of. I really like Anus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
No.
DNF quite a few. I've DNF Grace of Kings and the
Uh,
Bengali series, whatever that
yeah.
was, with the and then also
Chasing
unfortunately,
Graves.
yeah, Chasing Graves, and then the Paulina, what's it called? Christopher
Oh,
Paolini series.
Aragon.
Yeah, Aragon.
Do a full year doing Philip C. Quantrill.
Ooh,
How many books has he written now? Loads, isn't it?
a lot. I've seen quite a few of his. Do you know what? We'll have a look at that. Maybe not do a full year of him because I don't know. It might get boring, but
Mm.
yeah, the Grace of Kings, Dandelion Dynasty, yeah, was a DNF.
Yeah. That was a
Yeah,
That was a DNF. I've got the audiobook now though, so I will be listening to that next year, I think.
yeah. So, but yeah, if you think of any trilogy, like don't even need to be trilogies, any
No
completed
series.
series, there are some that I think might be too long to do. If they are like a ridiculously long series, I don't want people to get bored.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice if we could
It
have
would be
some
nice.
maybe authors that we don't know much about. But yeah, we'll
Yeah,
see.
true.
But yeah, it's been fun once again. Thank you for putting up with me this year.
Honey. Mm.
And we will see you all. Yeah.
Ever start a side project? This is the side project.
This is the side quest.
Yeah.
To be fair though, there's not
There are
many.
quite a few sci-fi series that I would be interested in reading.
Um, we might do a whole D&D side quest situation where we just slot in a sci-fi series. Because there are a couple of authors that have piqued
Adrian
my interest.
Tchaikovsky.
Adrian Tchaikovsky,
Mm,
his series, or his standalones, even some of his books in general, um, have got my attention.
I like Child's Birth.
So yeah, so we'll have a look at that maybe for 2027 if we are struggling for fantasy books. But yeah, any recommendations, tough day. You've got our socials. Comment. I'll put a
Yeah,
poll. I might put a poll out on the old socials just to get an idea for
sounds like a
following you.
plan. We'll leave you to your evening. Thank you very much for joining us. We will see you in 2026, which is scary.
2026.
Yeah. Gosh.
Hey, we say struggling for completed fantasy series though.
Yeah.
Or
Fantasy books
fantasy
are fine.
standalones.
Completed.
Yeah, it's completed series or fantasy standalones because
Yeah.
there's not many fantasy standalones, and most people are in the middle of a series now. Over and out, Chufty McTavish. Hope you have a fabulous Christmas
Yeah.
and a brilliant New
Delicious
Year,
celebrate.
friends.
See you next year. Bye.
Bye.
Hang on, pressing buttons. Bye.
Pressing